What's up, guys? It's your girl, Dr. Shonna,
Yo, 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 yo.
and I'm here today because I wanted to go over an article that I was reading, and I found the article very interesting. And I think many of us are going to be able to relate to this article, and many of us are going to find this article just as interesting as I did. Because I want to talk about men stressing women out. Damn. Oh my goodness. I don't want you guys to jump to any conclusions, though. I don't want you to think that this is going to be a man bashing session because it is not. I am, however, going to go over an article that I read, and I'm going to share that with you all. But this is not going to be a man bashing session. So let's go over the article. I'm going to go over this article step by step so you can see what the hell this article is saying. It says being a parent is hard. Not only are you responsible for yourself, but for other people. The demands of providing the best life you can for your children financially, physically, and psychologically are stressful and often complicated. So, this is a study that has been done, and they researched over 7,000 women. Now, I can't tell you if it's Black women, Spanish women, white women. My experience with research, now, y'all know I'm a doctor. I did the work. I did my research. I did my studies, and my area of expertise is relationships. So that's how I got my doctorate, centered on that. So I know a lot of times when we survey women in these major studies, usually they're done by white people, and they're sent out to majority white sample population. So even though I cannot tell you because it did not list their sample population, it did not list the demographics. I don't know who they surveyed, but I modified some things to make it fit for us Black women, right? Because we just have a different experience. We experience the same things, but our experience of the same issue at hand is just different. People cannot dispute that. If you want to dispute it, go ahead. I think there needs to be more research that is specifically done on us so they can understand our unique needs. But I'm going to help bring that into perspective for all my sisters out here. Yes, some people saying it's true. Absolutely. They have my box. Yes. So I'm going to say this to you. I had to modify some things. But I'm going to read from the study, and then I'm going to tell you where I'm modifying from, because I don't want all of us to hold ourselves to a standard that we can't fulfill, right? But anyway, they studied over 7,000 women. And the average women stress out of all the people they study is at an 8.5, because what they said is, I want you to rate it from 0 to 10 where your stress level at. And the average woman has indicated that her stress level is at an 8.5. And the greatest stress that was identified were their partners. Now, the study said husband. Now, you guys know, just because we may not be legally married doesn't mean that we don't have our committed partners that we're raising children with. And that's what I don't like about certain studies. That's why I think certain studies are biased, because they always want to look at it for married women, people who are legally married. But people who are in relationships that they cohabitate with their partners, they also experience the same things with their partners that married women do. So I modified that, and I said the greatest stress are their partners that they live with, and their partners that they do not live with. And that's what we have to be able to look at these studies, and we have to not get ourselves so like caught up on the titles that they give people. People who may not be living with their partners are people who have broken up with their children's fathers. Those mofos stress women out too. But let's not forget, I know women stress out men too, but right now we're talking to the women. We're talking to the women. The second source of stress were their children. The study also says it's not enough time in a day was another area of stress. Women said that they are responsible for parenting and the household. And they had inadequate help from their partners. And guess what? Women who are single, raising children, have the highest amount of stress. Now, let me say this. Let me say this. Just on that part right there, I'm going to go on to the rest of the study, but just on that part right there, woo, we all get 24 hours in a day. You, me, everybody gets 24 hours a day. And here's the thing that I want people to stop doing, because I see it as a therapist, I see it as a relationship expert, I see it every day in my practice. Women, particularly, yes, it happens to men too, but we ain't talking about the men today. Women are expected to be able to handle every damn thing in their lives, and they're not expected or allowed to break down. We have to stop this inadequate, unhealthy way of thinking. Let me say that again. We have to stop this inadequate and unhealthy way of thinking. There is a lot that sits on a woman's plate, from the children to the household to work to just taking care of herself. And I am so sick and tired, especially Black women. I am so sick and tired of seeing Black women run themselves in the ground and then feel guilty of feeling stressed out, feel guilty of saying they are unhappy, of saying they are stressed, and saying that they can't take it anymore. These are human reactions. And why is it in our culture we are made to feel that we are not supposed to hurt, we're not supposed to cry, we're just supposed to pick up the pieces and keep moving? Peace and blessings, Allison. Peace and blessings, Charles. Peace and blessings, Sanseria. Let me tell you something. Ladies, Black ladies, you need to stop with this whole idea of being superwoman in charge. So there's one thing I could tell you about most white women, not all, but one thing I could tell you about white women. White women are not strangers to saying they need help. They're not strangers to breaking down and crying. See, we look at white women and we say that they are fragile. That's what we do. We look at white women and we say that they are fragile, they are weak. And I'm not saying in certain instances, they need to get it all the way together. Sometimes they cry about shit that they don't need to be crying about, and I get it. I understand that. But sometimes life will have you cry. And we as Black women, we have to be okay with those emotions. We'll be the first ones that say we don't care what people think about us, but then we break down because we are afraid to show people our authentic self, to show people what we are really going through, because if we show people who we are afraid that we will be judged and won't be accepted. So yeah, men can stress us the hell out, and now children can stress us the hell out too. But guess what? Sometimes we are the source of maintaining and perpetuating that stress. I don't know about you guys, but I've learned a long time ago to take off that cape. I learned a long time ago to just put it down and allow myself to experience my pain, allow myself to be vulnerable, allow myself to pull back and not feel guilty. I'm a married woman. And I allow myself the breaks. And I allow myself the ability to just be selfish sometimes. Because if I have to keep putting myself second, to put everybody else before me first, I'm going to experience a mental breakdown. I'm going to experience anger, resentment, pain, depression, and I cannot afford to experience those symptoms when I know that I am in control. Let me say that again. I cannot afford to experience those symptoms when I know that I am in control. But I know there's so many of us that have not mastered that. There's so many of us who are breaking down in private. We're breaking down in private because we have to be the big bad bitch. I'm okay. I'm good. I don't have to be that. I grew up in the Bronx as that. It's okay. Every now and again, the Bronx comes out of me, but I learned how to control that little girl that lives within me. I am not walking around like one of these women at a stress level at 8.5, because when I feel my stress going up, everybody else is secondary. I'm first. I'm first. So let me go on. Make sure you guys share the story. Michael is saying some men go through this too. Some men do go through this too. But today, Michael, y'all know me. The men on this channel know me. The men on Dr. Shonna's channel, that's my Facebook page. They know me. I am team black man all day, every day. But my sisters need to understand and hear this right now. My sisters need to love. So I'm not taking it away from the man. But today, we need the women to be able to hear this. So let's talk about children. And let's talk about marriage for a second. Who told you that it was not okay to say that children are stressing you the hell out? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Raising children are not easy. And some of us have children who are head steps. I don't know about you all listening, but I ain't never had a head step child in my life. I have 3 children, and I am thankful to God that I did not have children step after step after step. And even though some people enjoy it, I don't. I don't. See, people look at my children and they automatically think, well, Dr. Shonna, what did you do to get your children like that? I don't know. By the grace of God, I don't know. I can tell you all the things that I know, talking about laser focused parenting. Yeah, I want my children to be successful in everything they do. So I invested a lot of time in my children. But I also want to be fair that I think I had the opportunity to invest a lot of time in my children because each of my children had their individual time because of their age gaps. My daughter is going to be 21 in 2 months. My second child, which is my oldest son, is 15 years old. They are 6 years apart. My third child and my final child, which is another boy, is 5 years old. He is 9 years from the middle child, 15 years from the first child. And each and every one of them have experienced mommy, just mommy by yourself. And that is major. I want to say this also to some women who may not be married and they just assume that us married women, we don't have the stress that they have. They just assume that we don't understand because we're not raising our children alone. I want to say this, and I'm going to say this very clearly. See, I'm going off my track because now my passion is speaking and I'm talking from my heart. So make sure you guys share the video. Share the video because I know I'm not the only one that feels this, and I know there is someone else that needs to hear this. So I need you to share this video. I'm going to need single women to stop telling married women that we don't understand you. Because just because a man is present in the home doesn't mean that he is active. Just because a man is present in the home doesn't mean that we're not stressed the hell out by him. Just because a man is present in the home doesn't mean he is sharing the household responsibilities. Just because a man is present in the home doesn't mean we ain't got no damn money. Please stop making these assumptions. Please stop making these assumptions because children and men are a great source of stress for a lot of women. I need my sisters to understand this. My single sisters, we feel you. We feel you. We understand what it's like to have to juggle multiple children and to provide the needs for multiple children. That is stressful as hell. And let me tell you something. Let me tell each and every one of you something. I will never tell a mother that is wrong for her to say her children are driving her crazy. Instead of the judgment, try to just understand the sister for where she's coming from. Because there are times where the same thing comes out of my mouth. And there is nothing unfit about me. The proof is in the pudding. There is nothing unfit about my parenting. But there are times when they drive me crazy. There are times where I am expected to be in 3 different places at the same time, and I have no help at times to do it. And I have to stretch myself thin in order to provide for other lives that depend on me. And it is stressful as hell. But let me tell you something. I am not going to let society or anybody in this world to make me feel bad for saying at times my children stress me the hell out. Because it is the truth. And I am human. And it's only but so much that a woman or a man can bear. But something has come up in our lives and in our culture that if a woman, especially a black woman, makes that statement, you should have never had kids then. Well, I don't know what you're complaining for. Everybody got to do it. If you didn't want to do it, why you had kids? How dare you question and judge that woman? I dare anybody question and judge that woman because you don't know her everyday struggle. And just because we're both women and we're both parents don't mean we share the same struggle. And it doesn't mean that we have the same tolerance of stress. I remember when I was a child, when I was growing up. Let me tell you something. I hear you, Faye. I hear you, Faye. That's why you got to share the video, Faye. Yvette, share the video. Charlie, share the video. Aaliyah, share the video. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, Charlie, when you say you didn't plan to raise them alone. I don't think many of us did. Yeah, there's some people that they want to go and they want to get their false fertilization implants and raise their children by themselves. I get it. But that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I didn't plan to get divorced the first time. I didn't plan to be a single woman raising children for 4 years. That wasn't my plan. And I also didn't plan to be stressed the hell out. And I also didn't plan to be psychologically messed up in my head because of the stress levels and not getting the help that I needed. I also didn't plan for that either. I also didn't plan to be somebody's doormat. I also didn't plan to be walked all over. I also didn't plan to pick up after my husband and the kids. I didn't plan that either. So I always say, before we judge somebody, let's walk a mile in their shoes. Because it is no walk in the park to have to raise children. And let me tell you something. There ain't no walk in the park with marriage either. We have to understand as women, we are going to be stressed out. But at the same time, ladies, we have to learn how to manage our relationships and our children simultaneously at the same time. And we have to learn as women how and when to ask for help. We got to learn it. And stop feeling guilty about it. Let me tell you what I mean. I'm going to give you a little example. And I'm going to get out of here. I ain't staying on here today. Let me tell you something. I didn't even go back to the study. It's okay because I'm now speaking from my heart. I still got my notes. Maybe I'll go through the study a little bit later, but not right now. Let me tell you this. Early on in my marriage, when I used to ask my husband to do something, can you pick the kids up, right? Can you wash the dishes, whatever the case is. The response I used to get from him used to make me say, I know you ladies can relate to this, used to make me say, you know, it's good, it's all right, I'll do it myself. Stop that dumb shit, ladies. Stop it now. Stop it now. Because I did that. I did that. And I allowed the stress of this marriage and the stress of my parenting stressed me the hell out. And I started to allow myself to be unhappy, allow myself to only see things from a negative perspective and not the positive perspective because I felt like I could not get the help. Because I would turn around and I would say, babe, can you do X, Y, and Z? And I would come out 10 minutes later and a joker in the same spot, right? Not moving. And I would allow myself to get so unraveled and stressed out. And I'll wind up doing it myself. If it's the dishes, I start washing the dishes myself. And now I'm talking out loud that, damn, I can't get any help. I do work all day. I parent these kids. I do 100 things. I only ask you to wash the dishes. And I started to emotionally unravel. Stop that dumb shit. Stop that dumb shit. I don't know about you, but if I ask my husband, babe, I need you to do the dishes for me today. Please do the dishes. And if I come out an hour later and those dishes are still there, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go in the shower. I'm going to put on my pajamas. I'm going to put the kids to bed. And excuse my French, but I'm going to get the fuck in bed. And I'm going to go to sleep. And I'm going to take care of me. Because we're not doing this. We're not playing games. We're not playing games. Because my mental health is important. My mental health is important to me. And now we hear women unravel, lose their freaking minds because they feel that they can't get their husbands to do anything. So they'll get up and do it and then have resentment. I'm not holding a bag of resentment. I am not carrying resentment around with me. I am letting it go. I'm letting it go. I'm going to leave that right there. Because if I'm telling you right now, I'm stressed out. If I'm telling you right now, mentally, I'm not healthy. If I'm telling you right now, I had a hard day and I need a break. As my husband, you are obligated to understand that and to honor that. And if you choose not to, then I have some readjustments to do in my relationship. And I have to go back to the contract and see where we can modify some things so that this relationship can work for the both of us. And I am not afraid of saying that. But women, we have to be in communication constantly. And when I say communication, I'm talking about authentic communication. We have to be in authentic communication in our relationships. And I don't understand the psychology behind women who much rather hold that shit in. See, I'm not going to bitch and complain that my needs are not being met. I'm going to ask for what I need met. Now, you can accept it or reject it. And if you accept it, great. If you reject it too many damn times, then now I have a decision to make about this relationship. Because if your rejection is damaging to my mental health, I'm not going to be any good to you and I'm not going to be any good to the kids. And I'm about saving Black marriages. I'm about saving Black families. So if somebody has to ask me why, ask my husband. The first thing I would ask the person, what is your relationship vision and what are your relationship goals? See, I got to understand where that's at. Right? Because we're going to get stressed out. We're going to get unhappy. We're going to experience ups and downs in our relationships. But the one thing that we must focus on at all times is the relationship goal and the relationship vision if it's possible to get there. See, some of us, we have some unrealistic relationship visions and relationship goals. Some of us don't even know the whole concept of relationship. See, we can't be in our own brain, in our own thinking, and assume that people can read our minds and just automatically give us what we want because they are mind readers. Right? We can't do anything like that. So here's what Wes is saying. Wes is saying, shaking my motherfucking head. Men and children, huh? Sounds like a statement with feminism and puritanism embedded in it. Wes, you're jumping to conclusions because you have not been a part of this video. And see, this is a prime example. I'm glad he said something. This is a prime example of what I mean when I talk about emotions and why emotions must be controlled and why we must seek first to understand, then to be understood. And this is what happens in the man-woman dynamic. See, everyone is coming from their place of ego. And everyone has their embedded assumptions into what is being said without seeking first to understand. And that's why I see so many couples go at it with each other, because they make assumptions about the other partner continuously, as opposed to having authentic communication with each other. And that is the danger. That is the danger. I see so many people who have their emotions out of control and out of tact. And he is misunderstanding her, and she is misunderstanding him. And the best thing they say, we communicate. No, you don't. Communication is so much deeper than just the words coming out of your mouth. Communication requires understanding. Communication requires understanding. Communication requires understanding. That's right, Val, because they only listen to respond and not to understand. So, Wes, you're going to have to watch the video from the beginning to really understand what I'm saying. Instead of just coming on and bringing up divisive responses, because that's unhealthy for this community. So, ladies, let me wrap this up. Let me get back to where I was. I'm sorry I went off a little bit, but I wanted to respond to Wes because I don't want other men to come on, because I understand how social proof works is another psychology term. I understand how social proof works. And what others like, social proof is a prime example of monkey see, monkey do. Y'all all know that, right? Monkey see, monkey do the same as you. And when one person come on, they see one negative thing on the thread, everybody else get negative. That's how monkey see, monkey do. That means that majority of us, we just can't think independently. Majority of us, we just do what other people do. That's what we do. We jump on a bandwagon, and we lose all of our critical thinking skills because we jump on a bandwagon. Right? So let me say this, ladies. Let me get back to the point at hand. We already know that we have high stress levels. Women, we already know that we do a lot. I remember one time, my husband never said, well, I don't understand what you do. He never verbally said that. But I got the energy that he was diminishing the work that I do. Not physically the work like my business, but everything, the parenting, my business, the community, the activism. Like I felt like he was diminishing it. So one day he called himself out of nowhere. I'm gonna take the kids. I'm gonna take the kids today. Because I have the kids, I would say 90% of the time. And anyone that knows me knows that this is the truth. Y'all make sure you share the video. Like and follow us here on Fly Nubian Queen. Share the video, guys. Share the video. But let me tell you something. He said he was going to take the kids. So when I came home, I forgot what it was. But let's just say he said he was going to, I don't know, take my daughter to go get some boots. I forgot what it was, right? And he had the two boys. And my daughter's older, so he didn't really have to worry about her. She's an adult. And I came home and I said, did you ever make it? This is an example. This is not exactly the conversation, but I can't remember because it was years ago. But I said, did you ever make it to take Kira, who's our daughter, the oldest, to go get some shoes, for an example, to go get her shoes? And he snapped at me. And he said, Well, I didn't have time. I couldn't do that. He had to be at football, and then little man had to do this, and I couldn't do that. And I didn't even go ahead and pick up the things. I just got them something to eat on the outside. And I said, okay, babe. I was just asking you. I understand how challenging and difficult it is to drop off one child, to have to get in the car to drive on the other side of town to do the other thing for the other child, and then have to go get the third child to go get them some sneakers and then come back and go food shopping and cook food. I understand that. I do it every day. I was just asking you, you did it. Because if you did it, I was going to offer you my assistance and I was going to take her to do it myself. And he just looked at me because I remained calm and he snapped. Snap out of nowhere. But I understood it. I understood it because I lived that life every day. I understood it. And so that's why I'm saying to you ladies that we don't have to be super women. We don't have to do everything. Why? Why do everything? Who are you proving your point to? And I understand that some people don't have partners. I understand that some people are single, raising their children on their own, but we have to start building healthier networks where we can start organizing and networking with people so we can build this community to help us. Even when you are single or if you are in a relationship. It is so critically important that we do that. Because just as my husband snapped, a lot of us are snapping every day because the stress is too much. The demand is too much. And we should not have to do this. That is unhealthy. There is nothing African about that. Nothing at all. And that's what I meant at the beginning of it, is when I said when you're stressed and you're depressed and you're angry, I put all of that shit down. Because I was bringing that on myself. I wasn't going to do it anymore. Yes, Marcy, we need a break. And there's nothing wrong with taking a break. And I know there's some people who say that they don't have breaks. But if you have a child, I mean, not a child, you have a father of your children or your child that is willing to take their child to live with them. And that is something that they have said they wanted, but you kept that from happening. I will recommend you try it out. I would recommend you try it out. I told you I was divorced and remarried. When my oldest son started to work my nerves and I saw 3 more gray strands come up, I packed up his bags, ladies. I got over holding on to my baby and no one's going to raise him like I'm going to raise him. To hell with that. Hashtag to hell with that. I got rid of that. I said, no, baby. Absolutely not. I called his father. He didn't know he was going to be able to do it. I called his father again. I said, I need you to do this. If you need me to speak to your wife, put her on the phone. I need this to happen. And eventually, it happened. Eventually, it happened. And I let him go. I let him go. If I trusted myself to bring his child into the world, I have to trust myself to let him raise him. I said, to hell with that. To hell with that. Charlie said, they grown now. I survived. Hallelujah. Right? Shoot. You know, Craig says, and in marriages, there's a such thing as give and take. That has to happen in a marriage with 2 people, Craig. But let's say, for example, Craig, if you have a wife that just takes and doesn't give, you cannot force her to give. We don't have control over anybody else. And that's what I mean when I say so many people come into relationships with false expectations and visions that don't make sense. That don't make sense. One thing we can't control is other people. We cannot control other people. And if you are married to somebody who just takes and doesn't give, then you have a decision to make. You can adjust your way of being in your belief system, right? Or you can let it go and say, like Charlie said, hashtag to hell with that. You can let it go. Okay, Chuck Craig, you understand perfect. He said he was married. That was. Craig, I am married. You know, shit. It's work. It's work. But what I was saying, Craig, is women, we think we got to take on everything. Hashtag to hell with that. I'm not taking on everything. I don't have to be superwoman. And just because I'm black doesn't automatically classify me as super strong. To hell with that. No. No. I'm not. Sometimes I come home and I say, okay, y'all, I need a mental health day. Every person on their own, period. Go, take a shower, 2-strand twist this natural hair of mine, put on my bougie bonnet, my silk bonnet, put my pajamas on, and go to hell to sleep. Go to hell to sleep. And when I wake up, everybody's sleeping, including my husband, and they done left all the lights on. The kitchen wasn't cleaned up. Some people plates are still at the dining table. And you know what I say? To hell with that. That should get cleaned up tomorrow when I return from work. Y'all want to leave the house like that? Well, be it. I'm not going to wake up from taking a mental health break, wake up and all of a sudden feel like I have to be a slave over again. To hell with that. I'll get to it when I get from work. Because y'all didn't care enough. Y'all just thought y'all was going to put that shit on me. Right? I'm responsible for my mental health. I'm responsible for my happiness. I'm responsible for what I do and what I allow from other people. I'm responsible for that. I am. Nobody else but me. I wish I would have read the other person say. They said my house would end up, but I couldn't do it, right? But that's it. L said, go ahead, girl. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you got to take those mental health breaks. Sometimes you just got to say hashtag to hell with that. My kids know. I'm not playing no game. Now, if I had babies, I couldn't do that. But there's no way in hell I'm coming to the Center for Counseling and Holistic Services and see, if y'all see how many clients I see in a damn day, I'm not going to sit up here and help people through their problems. And I get home, and when I need help, there's nobody to help the helper. Hashtag to hell with that. Fuck it. I'll take my mental health break. Y'all figure it out. Y'all better learn how to cook tonight. Shit. And if you don't cook, 1-800-CALL FOOD, because I ain't got it. I ain't got it in me. Not today. And that's just the reality of relationships. That's the reality of my relationship. I can't speak for nobody else. Right? I can't speak for nobody else. But I'm not gonna stress myself out because what somebody else won't do. I'm not gonna stress myself out for what somebody else won't do. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. But anyway, my brothers and sisters, thank you so much for liking us here on Fly Nubian Queen. Thank you so much for sharing the video, commenting. I love talking to you guys all the time. Listen, my mom Hanifa is saying I took a mental health break and went to Africa. Listen, I'm taking a 2-week mental health break on July 24th, and I'm going to Ghana of this year. Mental health break. My daughter 21, so I ain't got to worry about her. My 15-year-old son, he's going to go to either his father's house. I'm going to drop his ass to Rochester, New York, to his grandparents' house. You're going to stay with Becky and them. I don't care. Go do something over there. And my son and my husband, they just going to have to figure it out. Figure it out. I got to figure it out all the time. That's why I'm rushing over here now. I got to go get my son right now. Shit, I got to figure it out. Pick him up. Go take him food shopping with me. That takes all day. Stand in those lines, come home, put the food away, cook, do homework if they have any. Get ready for the kids to complain about different things. Whatever the case is, check the emails, clean the house. clean the bathroom, everything that I gotta do. Put my husband's food in the microwave until he gets home so he can have something to eat. Sometimes, fuck that. Sometimes you gotta say hashtag, let that shit go, figure it out, can't do it. Shit. Right? We all just figuring it out. That's right, Elle. We all just figuring it out. I'm on a mental health break. This is serious now. This is serious because this article said that most women, 8.5%, 8.5, they rated their stress levels. 8.5? Stress kills. Stress will leave your ass in a hospital. And hopefully you come out alive. Charlie said, girl, I ain't doing any of that. I live alone. I hear that, Charlie. Okay, so you going to Ghana with the doc? Come on now, shit. Come on now. I'm going. That's right, Mom. Mommy said, hashtag you are on your own, period. Pointblankperiod.com. Yes, bye. On your own. But y'all can't be taking mental health breaks every goddamn day. You still have a family to run. Don't be just tuning out every goddamn day. I'm just saying, take care of you. Take care of you. All right. So those of you guys who want to know when we're going live, make sure you text the word Queens to 31996. Follow me on my page at Dr. Shonna, DrShonna at Dr. Shonna. Go ahead and follow me over there. Like and follow us here. I try to be consistent on this page now. So I'll see you guys in a couple of days. I'll see you next week, Tuesday. Blessings to each and every one of you guys. Peace, blessings, and love to all of you guys. Watch the videos and always remember that communication requires us to have understanding. I love you all. Be blessed.